Good day and welcome to Iceland Roundup.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are welcome, Aðalsteinn.
He's not allowed in here unless he gets like written permission.
Yep.
I haven't seen you guys since we attended Sindri's birthday.
Yeah, my birthday. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. It's I know there's like a common misconception for the people who watch the show. Are we rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay. It's a common misconception from people who watch this show that like you and I have known each other for years.
No, we just meet once a week.
Yeah, because of our amazing rapport on this show. And I want to salute your bravery for coming to like the karaoke birthday party of a guy that you barely know.
Yeah, especially because I don't listen to music and don't sing, but I did sing.
You did sing the Pokemon song.
Yeah, it was
the
great.
Pokemon song.
It was great.
The only song I know by heart.
That's all.
It's a
You
good song.
should only sing songs that you know completely. But yeah, I kept looking over at you, being like, "Is he all right? Should I go talk to him?" It's like, he's a grown ass man. If he wants to leave, he can fucking leave.
Did I ruin your birthday party?
No,
by,
not
because
at
you
all.
were so.
I don't want just like people I've known for years and years at my birthday party. It's nice to have some new friends too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I really liked how much we were able to talk about Júliheiðar during that party.
Oh, I'd forgotten that. Yeah, I was in a band with that guy. I love that guy. He's great.
Can I help you? Should I feed you?
Yeah, maybe.
Did we even figure out where Júliheiðar was? He was from Grapevine, right?
That's
then
not
from
Þorlákshöfn.
Or Stokkseyri?
Is she from
Florida?
Florida?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I think so, yeah. Júliheiðar is a musician, by the way.
Yeah, and a dancer.
He's a dancer too?
Yeah, I like when I was competing as
He's a song and dance man.
ballroom dancer. He was like we were in the same dance, what you call it, school or something.
Nice.
For years.
Years
and years.
Yeah, we kind of bonded over the fact that we were both natural baritone singers.
Yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly, and we were both kind of trying to sing lead, so it's like we had a relatable experience of it's hard to hit those higher notes.
Yeah.
But it's that ensuing struggle that, you know, you want to believe at least what makes it sound more interesting. I don't know. It does in his case, so he's a great singer.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
Yeah.
You're a believer?
Yeah.
Very good.
Not a doubt in my mind.
You believe in the healing power of Júliheiðar?
Yes.
Okay. And his signature hit, Wet Dance Floor?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not referring to the monkeys here?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go on a wet dance floor if monkeys had been in there.
Oh my God.
So,
That's the dance floor I like look for.
Yeah.
So the Icelandic Search and Rescue Team is currently looking for a hiker on Mount Esja.
Yeah.
They've been searching since 9 o'clock last evening.
Yeah.
Which I thought would have been impossible because the Esja is just a big loaf of bread. There's nowhere to hide.
No, but it's like a surprising number of people have died on Mount Esja.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Especially during the winter time when
Yeah.
the conditions can be surprisingly harsh.
And people just think they can do it because it's the Esja and they see it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you go there and you, I don't know, slip.
Yeah.
And you then slide down the whole thing, which is not healthy.
Yeah, not a positive experience.
Banana peel left by one of the tourists.
Yeah, I was...
Are tourists like really hiking Mount Esja?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
Wow.
All of the time.
There's like a kind of tourist who just shows up in a place and like points and like, that. I want to go that. Take me that.
Are you talking about American tourists?
No. They can be from all over.
Oh, really?
Yeah. American tourists, in my experience, tend to just sort of follow instructions that they read on various websites and travel guides.
Ah, okay.
They're not really... But there are definitely American, like, I do that kind of tourists.
Yeah.
Just like, I came, I saw, I conquered.
We choose to go to Mount Esja.
Yeah.
Not because it's easy, but because it's hard.
Because it is hard.
Hard.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on Mount Esja yesterday. The conditions couldn't really be any better.
I mean, are you sure they're not looking for you? Because that has happened.
You somehow slipped through the net.
Yeah,
You're with them.
there's a story that we wrote in this magazine, I think 15 years ago, about the tourist that went looking for himself.
Yeah.
Brilliant
in
fucking story.
2011 or something.
Yeah, is it? Wow, has it been so long?
Yeah, it's been a
But
while.
it's so
So like
hilarious.
he was on a tour,
I
like
think it was a she.
like on
I
a
can't
bus
remember.
tour,
Yeah.
and then they stopped somewhere, and she like changed her jacket or something, and the guy who had been sitting next to her or something thought that the person next to him was gone. I don't see her anywhere, and they were like, so they all went looking, and then they figured out that it was her.
Yep.
So and it took like hours. They spent hours there looking
For her.
Yeah.
Including her.
And this is not an urban myth. This is like this really happened. Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I hope that's the case with the hiker on Esja. It's actually you, Yundi.
it could be. Yeah, I mean, I guess people still come to Iceland to try to find themselves, but not in this way.
Oh man.
I mean, I do hike mountains, sort of in search for inner peace. And
Yeah.
maybe
You think that's what all these lost tourists were doing, like trying to find themselves?
Yeah, at least the one in like Seyðisfjörður.
Yeah.
that guy was definitely trying to find himself, unsuccessfully.
I'd just be so anxious, like in a foreign country alone. I wouldn't be able to think deep thoughts about my life. I need to be in like very familiar surroundings if I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's the familiar surroundings that are keeping me from knowing myself.
Maybe. So Mount Esja is
Just slide right off of that.
Mount Esja is well, it's a pretty big mountain, sitting here right outside of Reykjavík. In terms of like it's
not
It's
that
like-
high. It's just
no,
like
it's like a
it's big,
massive lot.
wide. Yeah.
It's bigger than, a building.
Yeah, so you can be on Mount Esja and you can still be like quite far away from that common path people take up to Mount Esja.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about like going hiking on Mount Esja, we usually are talking about this particular
3.5 kilometer path.
Yeah,
And
but there are multiple ways up on top, and you can like walk on top of the mountain for quite a while before you descend.
yeah, because I actually once got thoroughly lost on Mount Esja with a group of people. We were trying to hike across it into Kjós, and it was foggy, and we didn't have like a GPS thing or a compass, and we simply took, I think, 2 circles on top, and then came down the mountain on the wrong side, which is the side we went up, but not exactly the same part of the mountain as we went up.
Yeah.
And we had to like climb down in some really steep, weird. So it's entirely possible to get lost. But yesterday it was pretty clear. Like, there was not a single cloud.
Yeah, I mean the summer was yesterday.
Summer was yesterday. So it's this is quite.
You guys, summer hasn't even started yet.
This is quite
we're still in
peculiar,
spring.
but it sounds to me, given the conditions, that this must be some sort of misunderstanding.
I mean,
Hopefully
it is. It's, I mean, one of the first things I thought, because as you say, the weather was quite nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Conditions quite nice. A lot of people hiking.
Very many people. Yeah, the
yeah.
parking lot was stuffed with cars.
Yeah, of
There's
course.
so many people there.
Because when you want to exercise and be out in nature, you drive.
Yeah, that's what you do. Except for me, I ran from home.
Yeah. Such a hero.
But
I still remember the period of my life where I was like driving to a swimming pool to get exercise and just like, this feels so wrong.
Yeah, I really like the people who drive to the gym to go walking on a what's it called, a treadmill.
Treadmill, yeah. Or like
The
use the
Stairmaster.
stair machine.
Yes.
I think the success of the stair machines in Iceland are just because of the lack of skyscrapers, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
If you had a skyscraper, you would just hike the skyscraper, right?
Yeah, and you can't really take the stairs when you go.
Have you ever tried hiking a skyscraper? You know, there's people lost that went up skyscrapers to this day. They never came down.
But
oh my God.
I mean, it's so last week also. Well, on the topic of lost tourists, a tourist died in Brúará.
Yeah.
Brúará
A tragic
is
accident.
yeah. Brúará is a river that lies sort of midway between the town and lake of Laugarvatn and Geysir, the hot spring.
That's
The-
like
the
the
geyser.
golden
It's on a golden circle, yeah. And Brúará is called that because there used to be like a natural bridge on the river, broken down in the 17th century. It was like an arch, stone arch.
A fat tourist tried to cross it.
It was broken down by the
Yeah, I guess.
household master of the bishopric who didn't want poor people to be able to cross the river in a famine.
Oh, Iceland. Never change.
So the waterfall there is called the Bridge Waterfall, where the bridge used to be. There's a new bridge there now. Made by
Bridge
people.
Falls.
Bridge Falls.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos of people people that I know have seen or recorded tourists and visitors there.
Trying to build like a human bridge.
No, trying to so it's a really peculiar waterfall or
Like
slash
human tower in Spain or
Not a good idea, whatever it is.
So it's a pretty peculiar waterfall or like river in that part of the river because it's kind of wide, and then in the center of it there is like a very like deep gorge, and that's where the river flows through.
a gorge.
Like a gorge, right?
What's
that's
a
word.
gorge?
It is a word, yeah.
Does that apply?
I don't know. I struggle with these. Because I end up having to describe when I'm writing. I end up having to describe a lot of scenes that happen in like the countryside, which is hard for me because I never go to the countryside. So I spend a lot of time just on Wikipedia reading about
gorges.
The difference between a gorge and a gulch
crevasse.
and like. There's something called an escarpment. I'm still not totally sure what it is, but it sounds really cool, so I make sure to throw that in there a lot.
Is that what you use scarpa shoes for?
I don't fucking know, man.
No, so it looks so. I've seen people posting about other people walking sort of into the waterfall, which most of it is sort of shallow, just like a tiny stream of water. You can kind of walk towards this center, which has where the mass of the water flows through, and it's a violent sort of mass of water, but it doesn't really, you can't really tell unless you know. The color is different, kind of more white because of the rapid stream, and it's slippery, and I guess it was kind of a question of time when somebody would slip and fall in, and
yeah.
It's not a river you want to fall into. It's the only river in Iceland that has claimed a bishop. A bishop was drowned there in the 15th century.
Oh yeah, the
Rivers 1, Christianity 0.
Yeah, he was an English bishop, and he was sewn into a bag and thrown into the river.
Awesome.
Well, I bet he didn't think so, Sindri.
Who cares?
I forget his name. But
Good.
So it's a pretty it's a reminder of a topic that we've gone on about in this podcast, that
like regardless of what you might be told, Iceland is still like wild country.
It's wild, nature's dangerous.
Yeah.
The waves on the beaches here can be dangerous. The rivers here are definitely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them. And it's a tragedy, and I guess also a reminder that maybe sometimes, well, at least in this particular case, I mean, the signs in and around the river are kind of, they're kind of on point with regards to the danger there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to cut it all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine being sort of taken in by it, like visiting here. It seems very safe, and there's like tourists and tour guides, and like everyone's pretty chill, and don't really appreciate how like deceptive and unstable and even volatile like parts of Icelandic nature can be.
True. So there's that. Completely different subject. The Ferris wheel is coming back. Do you guys remember the Ferris wheel from last summer?
Oh my god, I can't believe they are trying that shit again.
My son will be very happy. Well, he'll be happier than Aðalsteinn anyway, but
No, I mean it doesn't like bother me that there's a Ferris wheel, but it does bother me that it's there and they're charging like insane amount of money.
4,000, 5,000 or something?
I don't remember, but
Christ.
I just saw the
that's like you might as well
Nice.
go to the Blue Lagoon.
you might as well do anything that's fun.
Yeah.
And you can pay like 500 krónur to be on top of Hallgrímskirkja Tower.
Yeah, where you actually get a view. The peculiar part about where they've put up this Ferris wheel, I'm assuming they'll put it back up where it was last year by the harbour.
Yeah.
Is that it's probably the place in Reykjavík where the odds of you actually getting a view out of that ride are as diminished as possible.
Yeah, but the view is of the bay, isn't it? It's of Esja, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's in the... I mean, yeah, okay.
I mean, I you know.
You always see Esja, that's right. But it's windy, like, even when it's, like, calm.
Yeah.
It's windy down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also the view is terrible from there compared to any other place in Reykjavík.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I thought the point of, like, I don't know, putting the thing up would be to put it up somewhere where you can actually see something.
I mean, it stayed there for months last year, and basically no one ever took a ride. I mean,
apparently it made money.
Yeah,
what?
I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough money to
For
justify
who?
doing it again.
No, I mean...
I don't know.
Whoever chose to import it, you know.
No,
Do
it's
Ferris wheels
like,
have a point? I mean, I feel like you guys, you know, there is no point to them. They're just the stupid big wheel, and you either like stupid big wheels or or you don't. Like, there's no, you know, it's like monster trucks or something.
Okay,
You know,
I
there's
love monster trucks.
Yeah, but a lot of people, you know, don't see the point in that.
But
Do
I
you think
don't
there's a
want
gigantic
monster
over-
trucks in Reykjavík.
I bet it costs more than $40 to go to like a, you know.
A monster truck show.
No, I mean, I don't know. How much does it cost to go to a monster truck show?
I have
I've
no
never
idea. I've never
been
been.
No. I guess it depends on the show, doesn't it?
Like,
It must be expensive.
back up a bit, because it's not a private company that says like, oh, we have a Ferris wheel, we want to put it up and charge admission and do this like the capitalist way. It's the city of Reykjavík who decided, oh, it would be really nice if there was like this giant wheel down at the harbour.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
Pay somebody to
Because
run
the
it.
harbor's not an
pay someone
eyesore
to run
enough.
it? Can we get someone, please, will someone come to Reykjavík with a Ferris wheel? That's the story about the Ferris
And then
wheel.
there's always some douchebag halfway through, you know, the business college who are like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think there's a massive overlap in people who like big tires and trucks and people who like Ferris wheels?
No.
Mm.
I think those are diametrically opposed. Those
Okay.
are very different kinds of wheels.
Still both wheels.
Yeah, and they keep
They're wheels
spinning.
that crash. They're wheels that grind.
I think, I mean...
I just like the hjól atvinnulífsins.
all
the
the
wheels
wheels
of
of...
The wheels of commerce.
Yeah, the wheels of commerce.
They must turn. The wheels must turn.
I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, like, I would really like to sleep in. And then I say to myself, no, the wheels of commerce must turn. If I wasn't afraid of needles, I would have that tattoo.
See, capitalism is already like a death cult. That's why what I find so funny about people who criticize communism for leading to like some sort of like, you know, brainless police state where we're all like robot servants of the state is like we're already fucking there.
I think maybe if we get you drunk enough, Aðalsteinn,
Yeah,
what will end up on your arm
yeah,
is a drawing of that
A monster truck.
particular
No.
Ferris wheel
yeah.
with that quote. The wheels of commerce must keep turning.
I actually have like a drawing of Múmin Pabbi
Yeah.
dragging a wheel behind him, and with that quote, it's like hjól atvinnulífsins verða snúast.
So it's kind of like a
Like the
Sisyphus meets the Moomins in a
Yeah.
way.
But I'm afraid of needles, and I'm really grateful for like rules in many European countries that ban obviously drunk people to get tattoos.
I think that doesn't apply here.
No, but I'm never that drunk in Iceland.
I think we can bypass this by having somebody create this image and this text as like a metal thing on reverse, and then we can just heat it up.
Yeah.
and-
It's
and-
like
what is it
they
called?
do with
What-
cows.
Well, yeah, what is it called again? Sindri? I can't remember.
A brand?
Yeah, we can brand you.
A capital idea.
Be my own personal branding.
The needle, the tattoo needle, it doesn't, like, I'm afraid of needles. Like, I hated giving blood, you know, and getting all, you know, shots and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
when you get tattooed, it's like, it doesn't feel like that kind of needle. It's just like this little.
Yeah,
poke.
but it's not
It's painful.
the pain that I'm afraid of. It's the idea of something like sticking, like I can't.
I mean, I don't like the idea of it either, but the experience was not what I expected. It's not. It doesn't. It's not like a needle.
You're gonna
If
look.
this was a rational fear, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But
I get you.
Well,
yeah. But did you see the reporter for Channel 2 who went to a tattoo festival this weekend or late last week and got a tattoo of the Channel 2's logo on his arm?
What a silly thing to do.
It's a silly thing to do, but if you keep in mind...
What a stupid tattoo to get.
Do you have Channel 2 tattoo?
No, we both have these.
Blaðamaður.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But
We lost the bat.
It's funny because you're the journalist in the room.
Yeah.
You have nothing like this.
No, that's because I'm afraid of
Needles.
needles. But I was just gonna add that either the day before this guy went to tattoo Channel 2's logo on his arm, news broke that they would retire the Channel 2 branding.
No.
It's gonna be announced this week, I think. They're like,
He wasn't keeping up with the news.
But then the tattoo is
I don't
a
know.
document of a time in the past. That's fair. It doesn't have to be. Your tattoo doesn't always have to be pertinent.
no.
Exhibit A.
So, I mean, what
It's the story of
defunct
your life.
brand would you like to have tattooed on your body? Sýnarkó?
I don't know. I've never had a lot of
Like 24 stundir, the newspaper that survived for 5 years.
yeah.
maybe that's
Fréttablaðið.
that supermarket 1111.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11.
I had an 1111 sweater for a while.
Yeah.
I stole it from like a costume department somewhere.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Could have done that.
This is a really nice yellow color they had. I much prefer it to the green on the 1011s.
Yeah, I kind of like the 11.
Yep.
Except for the pricing, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like opening times, terrible.
11 to 11? It makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
Did you guys see the story that the current police commissioner for Keflavík Airport and the surrounding area
Mm-hmm.
was in the news because they turned...
What tattoo did he get?
She didn't get a tattoo.
Ah.
Bandidos.
They turned around
Oh, that's right.
some Banditos members on the border.
Yeah.
This is subsequent to a law that was passed, was it Friday or last week, that made it so that the airlines now have to turn in passenger lists to the police. Or the customs,
Yeah.
which they hadn't been doing for some time. So apparently that's working now.
So how, what makes you a member of the Bandidos?
I think it's the jacket, right?
You just have to own a jacket and we can tell you to leave?
I mean,
There are so many jackets that I think should be on that blacklist.
Yeah.
Can we put North Face jackets on that blacklist?
That would be like North Face and what's the other brand?
Sintamani?
No.
No,
Something
like Icewear.
I swear.
I swear, yeah. Fuck I swear.
Uh,
If you see someone in Sintamani, they're usually cool.
Yeah, I retired my Sintamani jacket and now have an Icewear one.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's cheap. It's the only thing Icelandic people can afford.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm
Unless
not
you're
going to buy a úlpa from 66
Oh,
dollars.
sweet Jesus, no.
It's like I could buy a new car for the same price.
Yeah, and they're not even like that warm anymore. Like they don't design them for warmth. It's like designer wear now,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be cool.
And wow, they are.
Yeah. I walked us right into that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an easy shot.
Slow train coming.
Slow. Crashed.
Mm.
Well, we've talked a lot about Grindavík on this podcast.
But not
we?
enough.
For good
Ever.
reasons.
Are you
Um,
talking about the hats?
Yeah.
Oh my God, make Grindavík great again.
So the search and rescue team in Grindavík called Þorbjörn decided to try to sell what was it, 25 red caps that said "Make Grindavík Great Again" on them, and got a lot of flack for that.
Yes, as well he should. I
Yeah,
feel like that was that was poorly conceived.
I just made me wonder, like, at what point was Grindavík great?
I had a sandwich there. It wasn't great, but the view was nice.
Yeah,
I guess.
I
like driving into the town because you go kind of through that. There was like a canyon or something, or you go kind of over a ridge. So it was a nice drive. But I mean, it's just like, how wild is it that there is like a town within like spitting distance of where we live, and it's just like
damn,
more or less empty. Yeah, I feel like there must be a bunch of jokes in this one. I mean, they've managed to build the wall at least.
Yes,
or the berms around the town.
The berms,
and they were sort of known for
build that berm
for some mild forms of xenophobic sort of behavior, and
I think they. I mean, to be fair, they have a quite accomplished basketball team and a soccer team, which I don't know why I called soccer, but it's football.
Football, yeah.
It's just to eliminate confusion. I call it soccer too, not because I've made any like substantial decision to do so. It's just to make so that everyone is absolutely sure what's being discussed. It's the non-ambiguous term.
Make the language great again.
Make the language great again.
Why does everything have to be so fucking great? Why can't we have shit stuff?
We have.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah, let it be shit. That's what they should put on the hat. Let it be shit.
Let it be shit.
No, I mean, people who decided to live in Grindavík probably like it. And are really sad that they cannot live in Grindavík because it's like a volatile situation there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's rough. Lose your home.
There are still some people living in Grindavík, right?
Yeah, a few. And I mean,
dozens.
The wheels of commerce keep spinning. They have like the fish processing plant is open and
still
some businesses going. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the search and rescue team is still operating.
Well, they're trying to.
And like in any sane universe, the Blue Lagoon would have had to close by now, right? Because of their proximity to all of these various geological.
Of the wheels of commerce.
Yeah, speaking of the fucking wheels of commerce, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, but they're like, I mean, it's not easy to say like yes or no. They should be closed or they should be open because they are on the right side of things and they're in close proximity. I mean. They exist because they are in close proximity to the power plant and they need to like guard that power plant and also like the Blue Lagoon, which is owned by the pension funds in large part.
So yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. We can't close it down.
No, I mean it's too big to fail.
It's too big to fail.
Yeah. Too big to fail.
Too blue to fail.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Blue Lagoon in the show before, but
because it's amazing.
Yeah, I really feel like it can't be overstated how freakish it is, like as a business, and its ties into.
I heard a great story over the weekend about this tourist who like she was on a bus trip around like the Golden Circle. And she was feeling a bit queasy, and the guide was asking like, "Are you okay? Do we need to stop more? Do you want to stay here and we can pick you up on the way back?" And she was explaining, "No, I went to the Blue Lagoon yesterday, and I think I just had too much of this water." And he was just like, "What? Did you have too much of water?" Yeah, and she was saying like, yeah, I mean, I was told that the water in the Blue Lagoon was so good for you." So she was like in the lagoon, like drinking the bath water, full of silica. And
this is the same thing they say about yellow snow, right?
Well, they put the word "don't" on the front of that.
Oh yeah,
don't eat the yellow snow.
Don't
ask any questions. Just don't eat it.
Don't. Yeah.
This poor woman. It's like the propaganda is just like everywhere. It's just like this water will change your how could you expect it not to be good for you to drink?
I mean, you also want to get the most out of it since you paid to get in there.
Fuck yeah.
They
asked for
like
this.
A leg and an arm.
Yeah. You might as well take some out with you.
There used to be. Well, I think it's still.
I'll take mine to go, please.
There used to be, and I think there still is, like a roundabout way of getting into the Blue Lagoon without paying so much.
What?
Yeah, if you have psoriasis,
Yeah, I do.
Ah, okay.
you can get a prescription to go there.
Yeah, my friend has that. I asked my doctor about it, and he's like laughed at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some doctors are just like I think it depends on who your doctor is. Some doctors.
If your
just think
doctor is
you're-
Grímur Simonsen, you probably will be going there.
He's a doctor?
Yeah, he is a doctor.
Really? The
Yeah,
guy
that-
who ran the Blue Lagoon?
Yeah, I mean, that's why he is running the Blue Lagoon and the biggest single shareholder.
Oh, I didn't know he was a physician.
No, he was like studying the effects of the silica in the water on skin,
Okay,
and like
here we are.
made a business out of it. One of
Yeah.
the richest people in Iceland. Lives in our neighborhood.
He does?
Yeah, he's so down to earth.
We live in like a salt of the earth neighborhood.
Yep.
Which house does he have?
I can tell you. I'm not gonna do it.
You can tell me off air.
Off air.
Speaking of that neighborhood, do you want to talk about your own domestic issues
No. I think it's we'll do it next time.
next time? Okay.
Yeah, we got to bring like a blow up photo of like an aerial photo of the neighborhood so we can point out all the houses that it's happening.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it
yeah.
would just be lost on people.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can. Yeah,
Gonna make a graphic.
we can make
Yeah.
a graphic.
Pictures of all the people.
Yeah, we can do it like Donald Trump does when he has these big
Printouts.
printouts.
Right.
It's like he's the guy.
Big beautiful picture.
I always like dreamed when I was a kid to get these giant checks.
Yeah.
Like, and he's the guy who like goes there.
He loves that stuff.
He loves that stuff, and that's the like I relate to him on that note.
He does like things big.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. Big beautiful bills.
yeah.
The National Guard in
Big,
LA.
Beautiful National Guard.
Big beautiful National Guard.
I mean, how would we like if Halla Tómasdóttir, the president of Iceland, would decide to deputize a group of people to like counter a big riot in Iceland?
Intimidate and beat up demonstrators.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be Björgunsveitin í Grindavík, the search and rescue?
Of Grindavík. With a red hat saying "Make Grindavík great again."
Yeah, or like any search and rescue.
Those boys from the rally, the racists.
Yeah, the ones who are definitely not racist. You mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. We are not racist.
They'd
That's what
do it.
said.
they do it for like $1.50.
They would have to be kroner for them, right? Can't
No.
be taking any foreign
I mean,
currency.
the organizer of that protest we're talking about,
Yeah.
protesting, like, I really don't know exactly what they're protesting.
No, they're no.
I don't think they do either.
foreigners.
Yeah.
He makes a living selling Icelandic people villas in Spain so they can move there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hooray for globalism.
Hooray for globalism.
And I mean, knowing Icelandic people who moved to Spain in their later years of life, they're not going there to adapt to Spanish society.
No.
I mean, don't underestimate the power of doing Duolingo while being drunk for 3 months in a row.
Oh, they take a siesta.
There is a chance they might actually learn something, right?
They know how to make a mean sangria.
They'll make a mean sangria and then play Duolingo. They do nothing else.
I think they just.
So either either
Uno más, por favor. And that's
either
about
they
it.
pick up like at least a sentence or two, or it's like a competition. Like, will they learn anything before their liver gives out? It's a ticking time bomb. God.
Quite literal.
Speaking of that, that's another news story from this week that
About livers.
well, indirectly about livers.
Is
a
this
woman
gonna be
named-
about Saturday night?
No, in Gran Canaria is
Yeah.
a part of Spain.
Yeah.
Even though located in the middle of the Atlantic, and on that island there's a bar very much frequented by Icelanders whose livers are in dire straits.
You're talking about a group of Icelanders who go to Spain and try to not interact with any Spanish people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their main hub for this has been a place called Klörubar, a bar in Gran Canaria. And Clara, the founder of the bar, just died this last week.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. And Klörubar
Heart attack during a particularly challenging yoga pose.
Yeah, I mean, Klörubar has been such an iconic part of, I guess, Icelandic culture abroad that it's even been like featured in the annual sketch show and stuff.
Yeah, and during some elections.
Yeah, they show like there's like a direct, yeah.
Yeah, and like political parties in Iceland take out ads close to Klörubar to
remind people to vote.
Yeah,
I'm assuming the Progressive Party.
Yes.
The horse party, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah. That was the foreign news corner of the of this podcast.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's sad. We talked a lot about people dying.
Yeah,
This
it's
show.
a kind of a demoralizing thing. I mean, we should talk about something more positive,
like
the weather.
I have mentioned that it's, bringing up death on the show puts me in a difficult position because my job is like stupid jokes.
And they don't really mix well with
with death.
I sort of, I tried to kind of straddle the line a bit, but if I offended anyone with my giggling at death, then I apologize.
You should just behave.
Yeah.
I did not know where I was going.
No, that's fine. Yeah. The behave sums it up quite nicely.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Jonte has the plague.
Yeah, I have the plague. It's very popular.
That's why we're talking about death. Yeah.
This is gonna be your last episode, right?
Yeah, if these bubonic things here under my arm
your buboes
won't go away, I'm gonna have problems.
Buboes. But the plague is like still ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I just recently read a very interesting story about the plague being on the rise in some places.
Where, in Siberia or?
No, I mean the plague was. There are cases of the plague in the U.S. like every year or something.
Wow,
the DC area, one would hope.
I didn't.
I'm told that antibiotics is functions pretty well to quell the plague.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the death sentence it used to be.
It is when RFK Jr. is running your health.
Yeah, I guess make plague great again.
What a shit show that is.
RFK Jr.
Yeah.
What has he been doing now? Has he been drinking sewage and?
I mean, he hasn't changed, but it's still like a remarkable concept. I keep forgetting that he's like married to the actress from Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's like, it's so...
What? He is?
Yeah, the woman who played his wife on like the first few seasons of Curb, I think she basically quit the show so she could marry RFK Jr.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just so fascinating. It's so wild. The layers of insanity surrounding this guy.
Maybe he was advising the tourist I was talking about earlier about drinking the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. We should point out that if you want to drink the Blue Lagoon, you should get a pasteurized sample of it. It's definitely healthier.
I mean, I have my problems like going into the Blue Lagoon because I know what you might find there.
Yeah.
But drinking the water is so extremely...
It's like, do they not have any kind of communal swimming where this woman is from? Like, does she not understand what happens to like water that has thousands of people in it every day?
And it's like white. It's not like see-through.
No, it's white.
It's white.
I'm not gonna.
Maybe that's the part that fools you into thinking it's not regular water that you can just drink.
And I assume they don't put any chlorine in it either.
No. That's like a big thing. I think.
You should probably not put your head into that thing.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I never do.
I never go there because I can't afford it.
Yeah, because
although I don't have the tattoo to show it, but I'm a journalist.
Yeah. The once every 4 years my wife and I convince each other we can afford it, I definitely do not put my head below the waterline for any reason.
Do you know? I don't know. It feels like not very much happened this weekend.
Except for my birthday.
Yeah,
except for your birthday. Do we have? Should we sort of venture into?
Is that not newsworthy? I don't think
yeah.
there's any other, Icelandic people with my birthday. I'm pretty much the only one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Who else?
My sister.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. Yours was your sister's birthday.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you decided to come to his birthday party and not
How does your sister feel about that?
Yeah, I have to talk to my sister about that.
Did you grab a coffee
You
at
haven't
hers?
talked to your sister?
He has like 12 of them. He can't fucking talk to them all every day.
I should.
I mean, he should.
I'm gonna call her
on
right after this.
Birthday. I
hope
think
she
you should
doesn't
call
watch
her
this.
now.
She's watching right now,
Yeah.
like, writing you out of her will.
Oh my god, what have I done?
Like, if you consider how Jóndi behaved, I think, like, she will live him.
Outlive him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
There's no will.
no. There is no way.
I'm also the oldest. I should be outlived.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
Yeah, I got the flu.
This
the
really
other
is
day.
the death episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, the flu?
Yeah, influenza.
Yeah.
Influenza.
Flu.
Yeah. And I started like planning my death and my what you call it, jarðarför, útför,
Funeral?
my funeral. And now my wife has like a list of things I would want to happen.
This is the most man flu thing I've ever heard. This is great.
No, I mean, she was like, "Oh, you should go to the doctor. You've had like 40 degrees heat. What
Temperature?
Temperature.
Yeah.
For days now. There might actually be something wrong with you." And then I started planning.
You didn't go to the doctor. You just planned your
No,
death.
he would probably have like stuck a needle in my arm. to
Oh,
get
yeah.
the
Yeah.
blood.
Yeah.
They never do anything useful.
Well, that can actually be useful, right?
Remind me, what does your wife do?
She is a doctor.
Yeah. And she went
That's
to
why you're gonna outlive
doctor's school with my brother. Yeah.
She did. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did go to school together.
Yeah.
My sister is also a doctor, but she's moving to Akureyri, so
So she's out of your life.
yeah, she won't be around to help me with my problems.
Yeah.
Well, there is. You can FaceTime her.
Yeah, but she's in Akureyri.
Yeah, but you can still FaceTime her to show her that rash that you don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd love that.
We should do that on the show.
Here, I have this rash. Please tell us what it is.
People in the comments.
Do you guys have any travel advice for people coming to Iceland this summer?
Do not do the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
Drive west.
West?
West.
Go west where the grass is green?
Or all the way east.
Yeah. Like
All right.
like rent a car and get further away,
I have a Golden Circle life hack.
Do it the other way around.
Counterclockwise.
No, not that. Do it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I've done that. No traffic.
Oh,
No
yeah,
people.
because
But,
it's the summer and
it's summer and it's still light out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great.
That's true.
I recommend
So-
doing that.
Especially like people who are coming from like some weird fucking time zone. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
they'll
if
be
you-
they'll
if
be
you-
up anyway.
If you just landed at like 7:00 in the morning at Keflavík Airport and you're anyway pretty ground down by the flight, you might as well just go do that.
Oh, that's like the last thing I would want to do. Is like get in a car for anyway.
But that's the first thing you have to do when
Yeah,
you land in Keflavík
unfortunately,
Airport.
it's just like it feels like it
Drive for
never
50
fucking
minutes.
ends.
Yeah. Unless you can like probably get a cheap room in Grindavík. That's pretty close by.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cheap too. If anything is open there.
Free mega hat with your hotel room.
Mgaga hat.
Magaga hat.
Mgaga hat.
Magaga.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
that's it for the travel corner of the show.
Yeah, thank you for watching our special death episode. Or listening if you are blind. Or, I mean, not on YouTube.
Anything else to add, guys?
If you're blind, would you go on YouTube? Let's
I've
leave
never,
it on that
I've
note.
never been blind.
I think let's use this opportunity to mention the Grapevine's summer playlist, which is featured in the latest issue. I'll post the link on the description here.
Nice.
I have to
Am I on
read
it?
the Grapevine sometime.
You should be.
Oh.
You have to read the Grapevine?
I didn't know about this.
I just read the last issue of Heimildin.
Yeah, because you
I should do
stole
that.
it from the...
I stole it at the printing press.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should read both of those for every episode. I should read it every time it comes out. So
It's here.
yeah, I'll read it live.
The Source.
The Source, the hip hop magazine.
The hip hop magazine.
Finally, I have it in my hands.
I recommend this one.
Yeah.
I gotta own a gun.
Yeah, we talked about this guy on the last show. The guy, Brynjar from the band Clubbed Up.
Which
With
isn't
his
clubbed up anymore.
shotgun.
It's just up
Dub. Okay.
because club quit.
Club quit.
Oh, he was Club?
No, he was dub.
Oh, he's Dub, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, club quit.
Yeah.
But you can't be a club with...
When that's the dub, you don't want to be the club, as they say.
Yep.
As they say.
As you say.
As they say in
Oh my
Grindavik.
God.
All right.
All right.
Well, that was the short one. Thanks for watching or listening. We have, barely informed you about last week's news, but we tried.
Yeah,
it was
but
my
it's
birthday. I mean, nothing more important than that happened.
But we have
Yeah.
like gurku teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cucumber season in Icelandic news. Nothing really
Yeah.
goes on.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Parliament is still going, right?
Yeah, but like, who
No, they
cares?
They came to my birthday. They had to take a special weekend break to show up at my birthday and sing some songs.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Fi-
Simon de David sang Hallelujah. It was great.
Yeah, and Kristrún Frostadóttir came and sang Fire, Water, Burn.
What I wouldn't pay. What I wouldn't pay.
Oh my god.
See you next week.
Later.
Yeah, later.
Bye-bye.